Shabbat, the Shabbat before Pesach, is known as Shabbat Hagadol, the Great Shabbat. The reason being, the Chachamim tell us that HaKadosh Baruch Hu commanded Am Yisrael to prepare the Korban Pesach a few days early, to bring the sheep into their homes, to tie it to their beds, and that would make a great statement to the Egyptians. The sheep was one of the gods that they worshipped. And Am Yisrael was telling them, we're tying your God and we're going to slaughter your God, and nothing happened to them. When in normal circumstances as slaves they would have been killed for a reason like that. Here the great miracle was that Am Yisrael was not touched by the Egyptians at all, and that's why it's known as Shabbat Hagadol. The question is, this adjective of Hagadol, of the great, what is it referring to? So there's many interpretations. Some say that it refers to the Shabbat. The Shabbat is great because of the great miracle of that day. Some say that the Hagadol, the word Hagadol, is in reference to Am Yisrael became Gadol. Am Yisrael became an adult. It's the first mitzvah that they got, and now they turned into bar mitzvah. And that's a term that we use for an adult, a gadol. And I would like to suggest that perhaps the word gadol is in reference to HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself. And in truth, what happened in that day is something great. The Egyptians had many avodah zaras, they had many gods, and it was a society of polytheism where everybody had their own god, but there was a national god, which was the sheep. This sheep is representative of astrology. They believed in this science of an influence of the planets on people's life that dictated that certain things should happen by just the celestial positions of the planets and the zodiac signs by which a person was born. This was their belief in life. And the sheep represents the zodiac sign of that month, Aries. And Am Yisrael came and said to them, your whole science, your whole basis of life that is directed totally by astrology is now incapacitated, because there is no such thing as natural, even though there is a world of astrology that HaKadosh Baruch Hu put into motion, it does not mean that it directs itself. There is someone directing the stars and the planets to be in a position and somebody to be born at a specific time, and that's HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So this was the day in which HaKadosh Baruch Hu became a Gadol. Ki el Gadol Adonai umelech Gadol al kol Elohim. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is a great God, and he's a great king above all gods. That's what happened. That's the Gadol. From this, El Gadol, Amelech Gadol is HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself, because he runs the world, and nothing happens, even as natural as it may sound, that is beyond his control. And therefore, it's Shabbat Hagadol, where HaKadosh Baruch Hu became a Gadol in the eyes of everyone. Melech Gadol al kol haaretz, a king that is great over the entire universe. That's HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He's above all gods and above anyone on earth. And this is what we're experiencing at our own times. It's a Shabbat that carries a great theme, the theme of HaKadosh Baruch Hu being a Gadol. We have to take advantage as we see what's happening in our society today with the great difficulties that are happening in the world and affecting the entire world with this virus. We have to understand that it's all run by HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and he is a Gadol. So let's take advantage of this Shabbat, this great Shabbat, a Shabbat of great joy and happiness for Am Yisrael, a Shabbat that has an integral part of the process of Yetziat Mitzrayim and the salvation of Am Yisrael. Let us go to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and tell him that we believe that he is the Gadol HaKol Haaretz, and therefore we have some requests. We know Ki Gadol Ata Ve'oseh Niflaot. We know that we tell HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you are Gadol, you are great, Ve'oseh Niflaot, and you work wonders. Ata Elohim levadecha, you alone are God. There is no other God. You are God. Our salvation depends on you, and you're capable of doing great wonders for Am Yisrael. So this Shabbat Hagadol, let's speak of Ki Gadol Ata, and let's come and ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Ki Gadol me'al shamayim chastecha, that for great above the heavens is your kindness. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is kind. We beseech his kindness. We ask him, we beg him to bring about what is so natural for him, to make miracles for Am Yisrael and to save the entire world from this virus and the consequences of it, and let us see Niflaot, let us see the great wonders that HaKadosh Baruch Hu does. Let us beg for Shabbat Hagadol, where HaKadosh Baruch Hu will be great in the eyes of the entire world, and we will have Be'ezrat Hashem a Yeshua, a salvation from the virus, and the getting together of Am Yisrael to receive Pnei Mashiach b'mera b'yameinu, and it should be the Shabbat Hagadol Mevorach from Yerushalayim Ir HaKodesh.